All right, family. Welcome to the family tree. Put your hands together, family.
Hey.
All right. It's always a pleasure to see everyone every week. And this week, just like any other week, we're going to try to bring something to the tree. So we pray that you all are doing well and your families are doing well with all this pandemic stuff going on. But we're going to have some good word tonight. And we're going to talk about some good things that can be inspiring for you and your family. Before we get started, I'm going to bring this music down because we're going to ask our Big B over there. Let's give Big B a hand.
Hey, I'm glad to be here,
our host
y'all.
with the most. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what's up.
And we're going to get started in a little bit. Big B, how you doing over there, Big B?
Hey, man, great day going over here, man. I got a new student today, so you know what? It's good. It's really, really good. I'm just
tell everybody what you do over there, Big B, because a lot of people don't know what you do.
Well, I'm actually I'm a teacher, at a school for young boys that families who cannot take care of themselves. So somebody's got to lay in the cut to help our kids, guys, because if we don't do it, they're gonna be lost because it's a mess out here.
All right.
I can't even imagine, being in a family where the parents can't raise me. And that's kind of really like where a lot of this stuff is right now. So you guys just keep me in your prayers as I do this daily. It's a job, but you know what? It's one that I call well worth doing because our children need this.
Yeah, it's important work, man. You are to be applauded, Big B, for all that you do and your inspiration in so many ways. So we thank you for your commitment to our children, because without the children, that's the next generation, y'all.
Yeah, my friend.
They said that this is the only generation that will not outlive their parents. That's sad.
It's an amazing.
You hear that? That's an amazing stat. That's an amazing stat when you really think about it. Yep. This is the only generation that will not outlive their parents.
That's deep.
That means that the data is so strong that they can prove it. Wow. Which called evidence-based. That means that children are coming up with diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney problems. They have the greatest, what they say, new frontier right now is juvenile dialysis.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Doesn't even make sense.
Juvenile dialysis. So it is to be commended. Thank you, Big B. We love you, man. Thank you so much for what you're doing for the children.
Always.
All right, Big B, tell us, man, fill us in. What's going on in the world, man?
Ooh, man, as of 3 minutes ago, from our very, 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 very favorite website, guy, that's INCO2019.live. Our quick facts coming up. That is a total confirmed cases, 230,786,142. Total critical cases, guys, just sneaking up on that 100,000 mark on total critical cases, 97,913. Okay, now total deceased, 4,730,719. Total active cases, 24,991,545. Total recovered cases, mental health time, Dr. Paul. Guys, 205,765,136 folks recovered.
Wow.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. That's the numbers we want. That's the ones we want. We don't want the number that they're promoting now that over 2 million people are dead. They're putting stuff out. I mean, it's so many things that are negative, and you have to get something positive. It's good to know that we have some stats that deal with people who are actually recovering from this thing, and we're always going to applaud those individuals that have gone through it. And some people that are listening right now, you may have been diagnosed with, the COVID, but you got through it. So we applaud you. We will continuously celebrate you, that you are the example of how to lead a better life and to do things. And when you start to cleanse the body, starts to correct itself 11 times faster. So we thank you so much for that. There's so much going on right now, but hey, well, let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. So if you are joining us for the very first time, this is the Family Tree, and we are a social network. That's right. Indeed. This is the social network for bringing your family together. We always say, bring it to the tree. Bring it to the tree, because this is where the family comes around the tree. And we always say that is your social security. So the only real security you have is not a check. Your Social Security is your family. So with that, a lot of the solutions that you have in life may be right in your family. So we try to say, bring your questions, concerns. The only bad question was what? The one you didn't ask, right?
Exactly right?
No dumb questions. No dumb questions, all right? And if we don't have the answer, we'll try to get it for you. And we do the best we can. All right, if you want to ask a question, you can go right down into your chat reaction block, right down at the lower part of your screen. Click on the reaction, raise your hand, and Big B or I don't know if Fingers is in here, but Big B will grab that. I haven't seen her yet.
Haven't seen it yet. We'll try to keep up.
And we'll try to keep up.
See what I just did, guys? I put my hand up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Dr. Paul.
So put your hands up, and we will try to get to your question. If you are someone that does not want to be visual, and you don't want to just leave your question, you can put it right in the chat box, and Big B will read it out, and we will try to get to as many people as we can. We it's with the questions get sometime involved, we don't get to everyone, but we'll try our best to do what we can. All right. If you are someone that's dialing in and you're listening right now through phone. If you, of course, we could not see you. We're not going to be able to see you. Just make yourself known, and we'll try to get your question in. All right? Okay, family. Big B, you got questions over there, or shall I take it from the board today?
Well, I have one right on the very top that says, good evening, everyone. How many drops of Dr. Christopher's Eyebright drops can you use daily? Does the formula still work orally?
Yes, it does. You can do it 2 ways. Dr. Christopher's Eyebright formula. That's what, for those that are listening for the very first time. Dr. Christopher's Eyebright formula is a formula that's part of Dr. Christopher, who was a health healer for many, many years, and he has a line of products. And one of his most famous ones is this thing called Dr. Christopher's Eyebright formula. Now, Eyebright is an herb that's specifically for dealing with the pineal gland, but also opening up the eyes and dealing with eye issues by providing all the nutrients that the things that the eye miss. So the Eyebright formula has a combination of herbs that can actually regenerate the eye, and has had probably the most testimonies of all herbal formulas around the world. It has, in this formula, it has the bayberry, bilberry. It also had red raspberry, golden seal, Eyebright, and it's got a little bit of cayenne pepper. And that usually gets everybody excited right there. The cayenne pepper actually is used because when you want something to agitate the system, when you have a little cayenne pepper, it turns into your body, turns into nitric oxide, not nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, which actually dilates, which means it opens up all the arteries and veins. And now all that good herb I just mentioned is pushed right into the eye. So it's been good for issues with nearsighted, farsighted issues, issues with cataracts, issues with glaucoma, issues with anything going on with the imbalances of the eye. People would use that. So the 2 ways you would take it, there's one way you would take it by adding it comes in a tincture or a liquid form. They do have capsule forms also. But first one I want to talk about is the tincture form. The tincture form comes in drops. And when you use that, you can put that directly into your green drink, into some tea. You can put it underneath the tongue if you want to. That's the first method. Now, that also, you can use the drops to go directly into what's called an eye drop or an eyeglass. Everybody know what the eyeglass is? Anybody know what the eyeglass is, right?
Yeah.
The eyeglass, always get a eyeglass, not a plastic cup.
Just gonna bring that up.
No plastic. Got it? Always glass. And what you would use is you would usually take about 2/3 high of the water. Got it? Use a good water. What kind of water? Y'all know the water. I don't even have to mention it. It's a geyser, right? Or any water that's spring water bottle at the source. Got it? 2/3 high. And then when you take it 2/3 high, you want to start off, I tell folks, start off with 1, maybe 2 drops. Because if you're going to wash the eye, a lot of us don't get back into washing the eye anymore. Back in the day, they used to wash your eyes out. When you come out, you ever seen anybody used to wash your eyes? but we don't do that anymore. So what you would do, 2/3 high, this is what I would do. Take a cloth, put it right on your shoulder, right? Put a cloth on your shoulder, take that water, put 1 drop. Try to do 1 drop, y'all. Don't get mad at me, because y'all going to get mad at me when they start burning. 1 drop. Put 1 drop in there, swirl it around. Anybody know how to use an eyeglass? Anybody know how to use one?
Just everybody say,
yes. You open your eye and put the liquid in your eye and roll your eye around.
All right, I'm going to show you the safe way of doing it so you don't put your eye out. All right, so here's what you do. You take remember I said put something on the shoulder of the eye that you're going to do. Put a cloth on that side, right? Take the solution, which you put what? How many drops in there?
1 drop.
1 drop. Thank you, Vic. Thank you very much, Keith. 1 drop. And then what you would do is you would bend your head, close your eye, bend your head forward. Y'all watching me now. Pay attention now. Pay attention. Bend your head forward, press it to your eye. As you press it to it, you got your eye closed, raise it up, open the eye quickly, close the eye, bring it down, and roll it around in the eye. Did y'all get that?
Yes.
All right, that's how you would do it. You do that repeated about 2 or 3 times, and that completes one side. Dump the solution. Never cross-contaminate the solution. Got it? So make a fresh batch for the other eye. Flip the towel on the other side. And remember, if you need that towel, you may need to tap it a little bit if there's any dropping on your clothes or something. But it also helps to keep that towel maybe even a little hot. Sometimes if I use mine, I'll have it as a hot compress also. And it feels very good when you press it against the eye. Got it? All right. Another side. Do the same thing. Repeat this process. And that completes a set for flushing the eye.
Do I have to have 2 separate eyeglasses? Can I do it with 1 glass?
One glass is all you need. You just have to make a fresh batch, okay?
All right. Very good.
Got it? Fresh batch. Now, when you do that, I tend to do and follow up with just a fresh Crystal Geyser water, 2/3 high, and then I will rinse the eye thoroughly after that. That's what I do to follow through. Got it? Now, that's the drops that can go directly in there. Now, you can also put those drops directly into, I said, your teas. Or you can add it to there, and you do get the same effect with that. All right? There are also capsule versions that you can use. I always say start with 1 drop, 2 at the max to start with, and then every week you add a drop. Do not go past 5 drops. Y'all heard me? Don't go past 5 drops.
Go past 5
drops. Yes. I know some of y'all warriors. Y'all warriors out there.
Yes, indeed.
You know, but I don't suggest going past 5 drops. Got it? Because it's very intense. It's very intense. But guess what? When they looked at the best results of those who had the best results, guess what? It was those that were actually able to endure a little bit more pain in that eye. Got it? And after all, believe it or not, you're going to get used to it. It doesn't even burn anymore. After a while, you get used to it. Because after a while, the eye gets adjusted, and then therefore you're there and you start to see things like mucus coming out the eyes. One guy was doing the eyes. He was doing it. He had glaucoma and cataracts. He started using this thing, and one day he woke up and he couldn't open his eyes. He said they were almost shut, meaning that the gunk was coming out of his eye so much that his eye was like, you ever had the crust?
Wow.
You know, they said the Sandman came and saw you. You ever heard that? You ever had that? Well, the gunk was coming out of his eye at such a rapid pace that he had to break that salt that was actually a contaminant toxicity that was backing up in his eye started pouring out of his eye. If that ever happens to you, you can always take a warm rag, got it? Warm rag, and just place it right over there, and it breaks up that toxin. That's actually, it's like little salts coming out of your body, got it? It's really toxic. It's really toxicity coming out of the eye, because you don't want that to back up in the eye, because that's going to cause what? That's where cataracts come in. You got it. And then when the cataracts build up, then what happens? Pressure builds up. Glaucoma.
That's right.
So one problem causes another problem. Usually the person that has eye problems, usually it's already stemming from an already systemic problem, which means they already have blood pressure issues. Got it? So that's my solution to that, Big B. How many to take? Take it how many? 1 drop?
1 drop.
And then how do we raise it up? How do we crawl, walk, run?
Each day.
Well, not each day, each week. I would do each week. Yeah, I would do each week, raise 1 drop each week till you get to 5. Don't go past 5.
Dr. Paul.
Yes.
I don't like drops in my eyes, but I've been taking it internally for several months, probably for almost a year now. So yeah, I do it once a day, mixed with like, part water, part drops. And on the directions, it says like 12 to 15 drops.
Right. If you're doing it in, that's what I was saying. The option is if you're washing, just 1 drop. But if you can put it in your green drink, you can put it in your teas, you can make anything. You can put it's a regular drink then. It becomes a regular herbal drink. So you can put whatever the recommendation, which sometimes can be 15 to 30 drops per dosage.
So I do have a little testimony.
Okay.
I had my eyes examined a few months ago. And they told me my eyesight has improved.
Shut the front door.
All right. Go ahead. Shut the front door. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Margaret. Hey, Margaret, I'll dance for you on that one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm very nearsighted.
He got the move down, Mark. He's got the move down.
That's Margaret's move right here. That's her move right there. That's her.
Yeah, I'm very nearsighted, so that was good news that there was a slight change in my prescription.
Excellent. We applaud you. Continue to do the good work.
But I take it every day since I'm doing it internally. So I want to make sure that was okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Add it to your green drinks. A lot of times you can add it directly to the green drink and you'll see it pushes into the issues with eyes. Also, remember, it's dilating. It's dilating those arteries and veins, opening up those areas that need the circulation, which is the cranial veins in the eye are the smallest. So usually that's why when folks have issues with blood pressure, they're usually going to see issues with their eyes.
Yes.
Got it? You're going to see it with their eyes. And also sometimes you're going to see the pressure builds up. So that's the pain on the side. That's the glaucoma. Got it? So remember, that's mucus that has to come out. It's trying to get out, but it can't get out. It's blocked. So that's what it does. All right, good one, Margaret. All right, thank you so much.
Hey,
all right,
I'm sorry, real quick.
What was that, Derek?
Yes, Derek.
How many times a week should we do the eye wash?
How often should you do the what now?
The eye wash.
The eye wash? Sure. I mean, you can do it based on whatever is needed as necessary. The best effects happen when you do it at least once a day. If you're trying to tackle a situation, or you're trying to help your eyes become corrected from whether nearsighted, farsighted, cataracts, glaucoma, whatever's going on. Got it? All right. Okay. Well, Big B, thank you, Derek. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Here we got one more. What are the benefits of Epsom salt baths, Dr. Paul?
Epsom salts bath. Epsom salts is a magnesium bath. Remember, Epsom salts is magnesium. So magnesium is good. Somebody mute yourself, family, mute yourself. All right. Epsom salts is magnesium. Magnesium is always used, remember, in order for the body to absorb any nutrients, it needs the presence of magnesium. And the greatest source of magnesium comes from plant life. The Epsom salts was always used, of course, when we were in industrial age, when folks came home from their working 9 to 5, they would take an Epsom salt bath, which is good because Epsom salts with magnesium is good for your central nervous system. it calms the central nervous system down. It balances you out, getting you ready for your what? Your cycle of sleep, right?
Right.
That's why it's always been used as a good sort of a sedative to sort of get the body in a state. But it's also very good for the muscles, the bones, and the joints, and the ligaments, and things like that. So Epsom salt bath is excellent. I always say that you can do Epsom salts. Also, you can do the Himalayan salt bath. You know, both of those are some of the best ones. I recommend the high one, which is the Himalayan salt bath. That's the one I recommend highly. Got it?
Okay.
Also, add some of that some of that Epsom salt to your plants, ladies. Yep, you can get your plants. They turn an incredible green. Yes. Yes, they'll come back to life. Stop pouring bad water on the plants.
Be kind of your plants, guys. Sing to them.
Dr. Paul,
okay.
Which kind of magnesium? Because there's different kinds when you go in the store.
Epsom salts. The question here is Epsom salts. It's Epsom salts. Yes, Epsom salts. Now remember, I'm got one more thing I want to mention about the Epsom salts. Okay, Epsom salts also is an emergency evacuation.
No emergency.
Yes, it is an emergent. When I say emerge, I do mean emergency. Whenever you have, you know, and this is old school right here. If you ever had issues where you couldn't move your bowels, got it? They would take a little bit of Epsom salts. A little teaspoon. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Take some warm
Yes,
water.
I do.
Go ahead, Nisa. I hear you, Nisa. Jump right in there, didn't she?
My mother.
There you go. You want to move something? If you get blocked up, because a lot of times, you know, people, believe it or not, are not going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I speak to people every week, and there's some people who haven't gone for weeks. Believe it or not, they have not gone to the bathroom in weeks. They're eating every day, but they haven't gone in weeks. It's amazing. So what you would do is just a small bit of Epsom salts. Now, you do have to make sure it is the Epsom salts that is for ingestion. There are some Epsom salts that are not for ingestion. Got it? That's the kind of ones that they do a lot of, you know, chemical spraying stuff. Not that kind. Make sure on the packaging it says that it can be for internal intake. Got it? That's the ones that you would use also for the plants. Got it? All right. That's a good one. But guess what? When you use that, I just say put your sneaks on and stay close.
Well, I'm not touching that one. Wow.
Got it? But I did say it was an emergency.
Yes, you did.
I did say it was emergency. Stay close. All right? But that works. I'm telling you. I've never had a failed case on that one.
Okay.
You know?
Well, okay.
It's also the same thing as magnesium citrate. Y'all know about that, right? The magnesium citrate, you know, which is also, here we are, magnesium, because magnesium is the only of the molecular nutrients that does not need, as a center ion, does not need oxygen to burn. So that means it can go in places and do things with energy that it doesn't have to have oxygen.
Yes, okay.
That's what makes it so powerful. That's why when you got somebody drilling underneath the ocean with sparks coming out under the ocean and fire coming out of the ocean, you're like, well, how is that possible? Magnesium tipped torches. That's what it is. Got it? So magnesium is a powerful element, and you can implement that to your diet, and that also stops you from having calcification in your body. You know, calcification like kidney stones and things like that. That's where that comes from. When it can't break down kidney stones, lack of presence of magnesium in the body. They got a magnesium deficiency. Got it? All right, family. All right.
Dr. Paul, for the Himalayan salt baths, how many times should you do that?
You can do that as a regular bath, as often as you need it. There's no saying that you can't do it for any specific time. I mean, you can use it as a way of getting into what's called decompression time. That means like every evening, if you have a hard day of work and if you're on your feet, you're tired, your muscles are tired, it's always helping you prepare yourself getting into that sleep cycle. I would also say dim the lights, y'all. You know, y'all got to start dimming the lights. Stop walking around with bright lights all night. That's why the dimmers are on there. The dimmers are for the purposes of setting the body into a state of bringing it down. That's when your body starts to fire off, you know, the melanin. You know, when you're in complete darkness, that's when melanin fires off. You fire off this chemical that helps you relax. So if you're in a state where you can't relax and you can't go to sleep, it's usually probably because you got too much light around you. And that includes these things called cell phones. Got it?
Yeah.
These cell phones have too much light that's close to the sun. And your body can't differentiate between the sunlight and these phones. So when you have it held up to your head in the middle of the night, your body's like, oh, I guess it's 12 o'clock noon, Big B.
Yes.
Send some more, send some more enzymes to stay awake. And then you sit there going, I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. Now you know why. Got it?
You know, I've got a student that's like that right now. Guess what, Dr. Paul? He sleeps with headphones and he can't figure out why he can't stay awake in class all day long.
Yep, not a good thing. So
not a good thing at all.
You know, no, don't keep the phones near you. Or I would not even sleep with the phone near your head. I would keep it like across from you. One of the good things is the Himalayan salt flow. You got a Himalayan salt lamp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep that lamp on at night. You can sleep like a baby.
Oh yeah, I do that every night.
All good stuff. All right. Okay, Big B, I'm going to go up to the top here on the chart here. I'm going to grab a couple, save some though. I'm going to come back to you. I have with me here, and I'm going to say, everyone, make sure you mute out. Mute yourself.
We're getting feedback, guys. So make sure you mute
a lot of feedback
yourself.
here. I'm going to go to the top of my list here. I got Troy here. Troy?
Hey, Doc. How you doing, sir?
All right, Troy. How you doing there?
I can't complain. I can't complain at all.
Good. No use complaining.
Nope, not at all.
That's right.
I'm going to ask a question on behalf of my mother. She has a situation in regards to having diabetes and also high blood pressure. And she's wondering if it's all right if she takes the black seed bitters to help that. And right now she's on medication. I think one of them is called amlodipine.
Amlodipine.
Right.
Amlodipine.
And insulin, and she also has a history of clogged arteries. So I guess my question is black seed bitters the best solution for her to take in regards to medication? Because she went to her doctor's yesterday and they have no clue about how the herbs work. So I forgot to ask you that question.
Yeah, I would, we have to take, whenever there's a chronic condition with clotting, with diabetes, high blood pressure, with the amlodipine and things, that we have to take you through a 101. And the 101 is, first, I always start with dehydration. Got it? Dehydration. Because most people across the board, when they see diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, blood problems, bone, joint arthritis issues, everybody's dehydrated. That's why y'all always hear me talk about water first. That's the first question you want to ask somebody. If you are, dealing with somebody, say, you listen to that health stuff all the time. What's the best thing I need to do? Number one, get your water right. Got it? That's the one. Number one. Once you get the water right, you got to get the right amount of water. So now you know the right type of water. Then you get the right water amount for that person. Got it? Then you got to move them off the things that have been causing the problems the whole time. That's the top toxic foods list. Refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. Those are the problems that concentration causes in the body. So that means the person who has diabetes, high blood pressure, come off of the refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. Got it? And then from there, top 10 foods. Usually, it's always going to come back to their food choices because, diabetes is a food eating disorder. Okay, so that's where I would start right there. But she would need an assessment. Is she in Philadelphia or in the area of Philadelphia?
Unfortunately, no. She's in Delaware.
Yeah, so she would do a phone consultation, and I can put her on point, okay?
I would probably set that up. That's probably a good idea. I'm going to do that. Yeah,
phone consultations, I can at least get them started, and, eventually if she can get into Philadelphia, we'll try to get her in to see her. But usually you got to start with the things that are causing the problem. Everybody's problem is that we're eating the wrong foods. and we have no idea. We are going off of, never been taught anything other than it's got to taste right.
Yeah.
And that's it. Not nutritious. It's got to taste right. And that's the bad thing. You want to make sure it tastes good and nutritious. You got it? So, those are the things that I would do. Black seed, though, may be a little bit rough for her. We try to, as a recommendation, we always start with the green drink. That's why I came out with the green drink, because also, along with dehydration, is serious malnutrition. Got it? Malnutrition. If they're insulin resistant, they can't assimilate any nutrients. Also, make sure she's not on anything that pours slow. What pours slow, family? What pours slow?
Molasses.
Herbs,
molasses, things that are dehydrated.
Honey.
Right.
Honey. Concentration.
Yes.
You got it. You know anybody on diabetes, you need to tell them right away. You need to put that away. That's what's messing you up right there. Because remember, whenever something pours slow, what happens? They pull all the moisture off of it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So now you pull all the water off of it, your body, and you get anything concentrated, your pancreas is saying, I got to break this down, but I need water. Where am I going to get the water from? I'm going to pull it out of your arteries and your veins. Blood pressure goes up. I'm going to pull it out of your kidneys. I'm going to pull it out of your liver, your pancreas. You got it? So you're dehydrated. And it's all because of concentration. That's the key. So I would say just give her, give her the information, and we'll get her in for a phone consult first, and then we'll move forward, okay?
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Troy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, who else do I have up here? I got Michelle up here. Michelle?
Hi, Dr. Paul.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Hey, Doc. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Thank you for all you do, Bill, and for our youth and everything. I just wanted to throw that out there.
What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said I wanted to thank Bill for all his hard work with our youth.
Yes.
Appreciate that. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We need more leaders like that. So my question is this quick question. So I am in my third trimester, and I asked my OB like how much weight I should be gaining, because I was curious. So I did research, and it said between 15 to 20 pounds. So before pre-pregnancy, I was 196, 197. So I'm like 204. And he wants me to drink Ensure milk. Yeah. And I'm not too keen on drinking Ensure milk.
No, this is where you have to understand the level of where their level of nutrition is. That's the only thing that they've been promoted to tell you to take. Remember, you got to go to the closest source for natural as possible. Got it? Ensure has so many chemicals in it. I can't tell you how much is in there, y'all. I mean, I pulled out so many GMOs, how many processed foods, everything, and I believe it's dairy based. Did you have the one that's dairy based?
Well, I don't drink it, so I haven't gotten it. So
so I mean, a lot of
what should I do?
No. Remember, you can never go wrong by having best of the energy. If you're looking for energy, you got to go to the source. What's the source of all energy? Is what?
Water.
Hydrogen. Thank you. Say hydrogen, y'all. Hydrogen. You ever been in biology or science class, and you see the elements chart? And I remember we always used to go in the class, and we were asking the biology teacher, and they said, why is that always the H is always the highest one on the top? Y'all remember that? The H, if you pull it up right now, the elemental chart, you'll see the H always at the top. Why is the H at the top? Because that was the only one that had a plus and a negative charge. It was totally balanced. That's the highest form of energy known in the universe. And inside of each and every one of us, there's a little car engine, and that car engine is hydrogen. Got it? So when we're looking for pH, that's the potential for hydrogen. We're looking for the potential gain or loss of that energy inside of you. So literally, we're trying to see how much life is inside of you. That's why we do a pH test. So when you're looking at things like Ensure and all that stuff, it's got so many chemicals, it destroys your pH. Wow. So your body's like, I can't use this at all. I can't use nothing about this is going to be any good for me. Only thing I recognize is when it has energy in it. Remember, Scripture says what? Only life begets life. Got it? Only life can give you life. So that's why we take it from the two sources, best of the land, best of the ocean. You need a good green drink. Get the green drink, girl. That's it.
Okay, sure will.
Keep doing the green drink. That's it. That's it. Got it. And I'm sure you're on the specific herbs that you are for that trimester. Is that correct?
Yes, because I have my red raspberry. I have a herbal blend. It's red raspberry with sea moss in it.
Okay, excellent. That's a good. Everything you should have red raspberry with everything that you make. That's what delivers it safely for the woman, for the balance, for the baby, everything. It's the woman's herb. Got it? Everything you take should have a little red raspberry in it. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you. Big B, you got somebody on that side?
Yeah, man. Excuse me. There was there's one here asking about the different kinds of teas and what they're good for. Okay? The extract is ashwagandha. Liquid extract, mullein tea, the comfrey. And what are they good for? What are they used for?
Okay, ashwagandha is a immune builder. That's also for balance, for mental. We say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. There's food for the soul family. That's good for brain food. That's brain food. But also it's a calmative. It helps to reduce anxiety. At the same time, builds the immune system. Got it? So ashwagandha is an excellent herb that you will find in a lot of those anti-anxiety formulas or the calmative formulas for teas. What was the other one? Mullein?
Mullein, yes.
Okay, some of these we've gone over several times. Mullein is, of course, the lungs. Got it? Lungs. So lungs is also brings mucus off the lungs. That's the herb that's called mullein is Aaron's rod. That means that it has the ability to literally open up those passageways. It's good for smokers, people that were smokers that sometimes pulls the tar out of you, gets the lymphatic system moving again. Remember, whenever there's trauma in the lungs, that usually means deep-seated fear. Y'all hear that? Deep-seated fear. Whenever someone goes through something of deep-seated fear. So that means that on a spiritual level, mullein is also something that helps you get over grief and trauma. Get some trauma. So for example, when you have been traumatized, what's the first thing you do? Got it?
Yes.
That whole concept is like it's so traumatizing it steals your breath away. You've heard that expression, right? That means lung issues. That's why so many children have been traumatized. A lot of them got asthma. Has a lot to do with being traumatized. So mullein has always been good for that. Last one I think you said was comfrey. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, comfrey is bone, joints, ligaments, connective tissue, hair, skin, nails, tightens the skin, ladies. You know, we always talk about tightening the skin. If you want to get the bags from under the eyes, tighten up the shoulder, the under the arms, we use comfrey. But that's also good for repairing and helping after, like if you had a knee surgery, hip replacement, knee replacement. Also, if you had something like a meniscus tear, ACL, we do comfrey soaks with that, and that helps the body regenerate. And because it also is good for the bone marrow, because remember, if it's bone marrow, that's where your blood comes from. It's actually excellent for regenerating the bone marrow. So this is a good blood cleanser. Got it? Now, contrary to what people say, you can't take it internally. That's the biggest lie they ever told. the key is that comfrey is absorbed through the skin. So the largest organ in your body is your skin, and it absorbs there faster. So if you ever see anything that says you can't absorb it or take it internally, that's a lie. We've been taking it as an herbal blend. Especially men have been taking it as a blend for the male reproductive system. And that also cleans out all of the junk that men tend to have in the lower burner. Got it? But it also brings might. We call it the one that brings might to your hand. Y'all got weakness in your hand? Anybody have weakness in your hand sometime? You wake up, you say, ooh, my hands is weak. Got it? Comfrey brings might back into the hands. Okay. Got it? Makes you strong again. If somebody's coming out of the hospital after this COVID thing, get them a good comfrey tea. That'll get them strong. Yep, that'll get them strong again. Got it? Y'all got that one? That's important right there.
That's extremely important.
Write that down.
Oh, so you can make a tea and drink it.
Yep, absolutely. You can make a tea out of it. That's correct.
So there's someone I know that had COVID. He never smoked, and their doctor actually said their lungs looked like they smoked for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you think mullein would help them?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. See,
and the comfrey tea.
Mm-hmm. Mullein is also very good. Comfrey is for strengthening. Yep, that's a strength tea that helps to raise the energy level so that the body can raise the pH, which also helps the lungs pull the mucus off, and the tar. See, you don't have to smoke to get, you can get second, third hand smoke.
Yes.
You can be the person that has, we have several people who've had cancer from somebody they live with that smoked. We've even had situations where people who got secondhand smoke from their neighbors next door.
Yes, through the wall.
That they through the walls.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because that's the way, secondhand smoke. You remember all those musicians? Think about all those musicians back in the day. All those jazz musicians, they all died of cancer. Why they died of cancer? Smoke-filled rooms in the juke joints. Got it? That's what happened. So all of them tend to have, they tend to all have, some form of cancer. So mullein is always the one we use, seasonal support. All right, Big B, I think that's everything, right?
Yep, that was on that particular one. Now, got one for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 2015. I'm currently on 2,000 milligrams of metformin every day. What can I take naturally to get off that metformin? And can I stop quickly, or must I wean myself off the metformin before taking any herbal?
Okay. Everything I told Troy earlier. For that one right there.
Okay.
Got it. Everything I mentioned to Troy, because we don't want to have to keep going over the same thing over again.
Exactly.
And everything we talked about, you got to go back to 101. The person that's having this issue with, metformin. Number one, metformin is a recall, so I want to start there first. There's a recall on the lots of certain metformin, so always check with their doctor, number one. She's taking a high number of 2,000. That's a high number for metformin. And it got flagged for these things called nitrosamines, which is actually the nitrites and nitrates, same stuff that you find in meats and stuff, preservative, but they know that it's a cancer-causing element. So that's why we really don't, you got to get off of that stuff, man, as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do say is everything we talked about, Troy, with diabetes, that's what you would start with. Water, dehydration. Number two is stay off the concentration. All those things we just talked about. Got it? It's a 101 plan. The person with diabetes, we got to get them off the food choices. They got to change the way they look at food. You got it? It's a spiritual thing. It's an emotional eating issue. It's a lot of stuff going with that. You got to sort of retrain or transform by the renewing of the mind.
Okay, now let me piggyback you on that, Dr. Paul, and say
you mean veggie back?
Yes, not one back, veggie back. Okay.
All right.
All right. What I want on that point, I just want to make sure that everyone understands. Dr. Paul said, going back to 101. Guys, the best way you make sure you maintain this information is to do what? You got to ask for the chat at the end of the program. And then once we get it uploaded up on Facebook and Dr. Paul's Health Health Network and also my page, you get a chance to really look at the program again with the notes in your hand. That way you don't have to worry about going over this over and over and over again. Hey, we want to make you good students, and good students do what? They go back and they do homework, guys. Do homework. That's what makes you better at this whole thing. That way you can do what? You can help somebody else by sharing this information one-on-one. Okay? Just wanted to remind you of that.
Okay, so we're good on that.
Okay. And can I ask you a question about the metformin? Is it a recall on all the metformin, or
no?
I thought people still on it. Okay.
No, I just said make sure it's a specific lots. So always check with your doctor on there. That was actually, it's been about almost 9 months now that recall took place. So it's been a while. So you should, if someone is taking it, they should have been notified by their doctor. But I'm finding that a lot of people didn't even know that this thing was going down until they came into the office. So I would check with your lot number just in case. You can go online and get that lot number. You just punch in Google, just punch in recall for metformin, and it'll give you the specific lots. There is a specific lot that they recall. You remember, all the medications are in either China or India. Metformin is made in India. Got it? That's the one. So a lot of the issues that are going on has a lot to do with, you know, where they're coming from. I mean, it's poison, y'all. That's all I can say. Yeah. All right. Okay, so things that I will leave one. I did not mention to Troy. There are, of course, the herbs that we use for the pancreas, and that would be not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, just food for the soul. And that was things like the remember we said the chromium, magnesium. Those are the two things that are missing usually. Things like elderberry. Got it? Elderberry. Things like gymnema, Gymnema. That's gymnema. That's an herb. Any of the vanadium. Got it? There's just so many that you can use. Dandelion is good for the pancreas. Okay, so there's a lot of different ones that are out there. Any of the bilberry or the bayberry. So you got bilberry, bayberry, huckleberry, blueberry. All those are good for the pancreas. Got it? Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Let me go up to the top, Big B. Is that Helen up there? Is that Helen?
That's Helen. Yeah, she's up there. Okay. She's up there hiding. There you go.
Yeah, there she is.
Doing Bill.
Helen. How are you?
How's everyone doing tonight?
All right, we're doing good. How you doing?
Great, thank you. I have a couple of questions. First thing, I was in that store where Bill was at the last time when he was talking about the comfrey, and they had something in there that kind of interests me. It was called tiger nuts. What is that?
Tiger nuts?
Yes.
Okay, and what form were they? Just like you mean from the actual tiger nut tree, you mean? Or it's like,
I never heard of it. It was like in a bag and you could buy it and just eat it, and it's supposed to be really high in fiber.
Sure, yeah. Usually things like that. Usually the nut form, of course, of anything is going to have fiber. So I would do the research on it though. Be very careful. There's a lot of stuff out here. There's so much stuff out here, y'all, that you can add. That's what gives you variety.
Yes.
And so many things that you're doing. There's a lot of fiber. There's a lot of vitamins, minerals, and all those things that are in those things. So just make sure you know what you're using it for. And remember, it's food. It's food. So in cases where you have tiger nuts, you get the names itself has a lore or legend about them. So usually, probably I'm just taken by, just by what the title tiger nuts sounds like something that deals with strength. Okay, sounds like strength. If I'm, because usually that means it's very high and nutrients, and that's usually where it is. The lore always is that the name always tells you what it does. That's the way folks did that. That's the way we shared information. We shared information by what it does. Like we said, the golden seal, right? You remember the golden seal, right? The golden seal represents the golden energy, God's golden energy, and his seal. Got it? And that's what was given to the angels, and then the angels brought it down to deal with man and doing the plagues. So you see how the lore and the legend goes with that? That's cultural for us. See, we sit around this tree here. Got y'all now. I got you now. Got this tree. We get around the tree, and we would tell these stories, just like we're doing tonight. You got it? And we would talk about, you know, the legends and the things and the stories of the people and the culture and things like that, because they know that the children will learn and they will bind to stories. They'll remember the stories. May not know details as much, but they'll remember the story. You got it? So they put the name of what it does into the herb. Got it?
So
All right,
Dr.
Helen?
Paul, when I look it up, it says that it's rich in nutrients. Tiger nuts contain a variety of nutrients and beneficial plant compounds. So it may improve digestion, reduce blood sugar levels, improve heart health.
Exactly what I just said, right? Yep. Yep, goes right to it. The name always will give it away. That's why if you've never heard something before, listen to the name. I always say it slow, y'all. Say it slow. And that usually tells you where it comes from. The tiger represents, you know, strength. You know, the tiger represents, you know, the ability to deal with adversity. You know, so probably it was also, if you go deep with the story, it probably goes into the deeper lores of the people and the culture that named it.
Okay, I have a couple more. Neem honey. What is neem honey good for?
Neem honey. Well, remember, you're talking about the neem tree, right? The honey from the neem, right? It just means that the bees actually harvest from the neem. That's what it is. So you can have bees, you can target bees to deal with specific areas or harvest. And this is where they do that. That is a powerful honey. That's a powerful honey right there. That's a powerful, powerful honey. But remember, it's not good for who? Who's that not good for? There you go. There you go. Because they dealing with what? They dealing with what kind of issues? Somebody please say it.
Concentration. Dehydration.
Concentration. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. They're dealing with concentration issues. So neem is an excellent protection. That would also be very good for parasites. Very good for parasites.
That's a good one.
And also for skin. And very good for skin. If you got skin issues, I would put that neem honey on there. Absolutely.
How about black mulberry?
Yeah, mulberry, from the mulberry. I got a mulberry tree in my backyard, y'all. Y'all know that? Big B.
Man, how'd you get that lucky?
I don't know. I went back there, and the mulberry tree back there is good for, remember, that's the mulberry is very good, just like the elderberry, very good for colds, flus, building the immune system, coughs, sinuses, things like that. Very
and the
strong.
black ones is better than the white ones. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would take a strong emphasis on the black one. That would be good. Absolutely.
This one is juniper berries.
Juniper?
Juniper.
No, juniper.
Oh, juniper. I'm sorry. I'm saying
juniper. Yeah, juniper. Yeah, juniper berries are for kidneys. That's for kidneys and kidney stones. That's what we use for kidneys. Yep. If you have some people have a lot of calcification going on, and we want to restructure the kidneys and get the filtration system of that flushed, we use juniper berries. That's good.
Two more. Plantago major.
Plantago. You mean plantain major?
It's like plant and then AGO major.
Okay, okay, sounds like plantain or plantago.
That's it, plantago. That's it.
Okay. Plantago. That can be coming from the plantain. I would have to look that one up, because that's a cultural. Remember, that's a lot of cultural there. Okay, when you're talking about things like that, the plantain, things like that, I would definitely say that's a cultural herb. I would have to look that one up. Plantago, because there may be derivatives of that. I know that a lot of vegetarians use Plantago, but I don't know the origins or root of where that comes from. Yeah, because you can actually, Plantago may have some other things going on there. So I would say I'm going to have to research that one for you, okay?
Well, I'm looking at sort of like I guess an explanation what Plantago major says. It says the broadleaf plantain, white man's foot or greater plantain, is a species of flowering plant in the plantain family.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's the plantain. It's from the plantains, but it's probably a derivative.
The native of most of Europe and northern and central Asia, as you just say.
Yeah,
and it's already naturalized elsewhere in the world, so that's kind of
right. So of course, everybody know what a plantain is. Of course, right. Sort of look like a banana, right? And it's very good and high in potassium and magnesium, and also we recommend that for pregnant women. Believe it or not, yep. The inside lining of that banana very high in iron. Okay, so if we're just speaking about the plantain, I don't know about the plantain and the derivative, which may be the major, which means that it's probably based on where it comes from.
Because it says anti-inflammation, it says wound healing.
Yes, constipation, coughs, wounds, infections, fever, bleeding, and inflammation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because remember, it's very high in magnesium. Remember we talked about the healer for the skin has a lot to do with magnesium. That's to deal with that. So that makes sense. Yep, absolutely.
Last but not least, Dr. Paul, is I may not be pronouncing it right. Damiana.
Damiana.
That's
a good shot. Good try. Good try.
Hey, Helen, don't feel bad. I roll them out too.
Well, I'm getting all the lessons.
I get kind of kicked. I get a kick sometime when y'all try it. It's good. That was good. You get an A for effort on that. Damiana. Damiana is a aphrodisiac. Okay, this will stimulate drive, sex drive. Yep, straight to the sex drive, y'all. Absolutely. Damiana also is good for men's prostate, but it's also for uterine support for women when you want to regenerate energy into the lower female reproductive system. So yes, it is a stimulant. Absolutely. Damiana is an aphrodisiac. Okay. And teas, you got capsules. It's always in some kind of a male prostate formula. Or it may be in there may even be creams. There may be Damiana creams that you have. So when you put that on your skin, that's an aphrodisiac. Another aphrodisiac while we're there. If y'all want one. Why are you talking, Doc? Yeah, go ahead and drop a couple more. All right.
I'm good.
All right.
With it, Doc.
Wow.
Karen, bring it on.
Karen, I didn't even know you. Karen, I didn't even know you was in here, man.
He snuck in, man.
He saw the aphrodisiac. Hold on, let me turn my camera on. All right. All right. The other one is wild yam cream. Right? Wild yam cream. Got it? Wild yam cream, and with a disclaimer.
All right.
I have a disclaimer. Right. See, Helen, see what you started there. All right.
All in fun.
Yeah.
You got to be the life of the party, Dr. Paul.
All right. So, wild yam cream is exactly what it does. It is actually a stimulant, a serious aphrodisiac. Get the cream, and like I said, I just wanted to, my only disclaimer is just give your partner a heads up first before you tell them that you just put some of that cream on you. Because poor guy gonna get jumped. He is gonna get jumped because that is one of the highest stimulants, because the wild yam cream does tremendous things to stimulate, the entire female and male productive system. So that is one. But I always tell ladies, please, when y'all use the creams and stuff, give the guy a heads up, please, because it is very stimulating, very, very stimulating. And with that, we all adults in here talking, so just want to make sure that you know, when you know, the wild yam was also used back in, here's a little history point, back in slavery times. You know, when they were breeding slaves, they would use the yams to actually have the women produce more children, because it actually had the ability to stimulate the X and the Y chromosomes. So women in specific areas of Africa actually produce more twins. And it was, so that's when the slave masters were like, yeah, well, we're going to start to have, they section out a certain women with, you know, that were from certain areas. I believe it was Senegal. I don't know what Senegal is sticking in my brain right now. Senegal, in that area of the northern part of Africa, maybe going down to the west, they separated them when they brought them over through the transatlantic slave, and they separated these women and they fed them large amounts of wild yams, and they produced more children. They had twins and triplets and quadruplets and things like that. That's a little history fact for y'all. Got it?
You.
Yep. All right.
So much, Dr. Paul. Thank you, Bill.
All right.
Okay,
thank you, Helen.
As always.
Helen always got some stuff. Take me deeper every time. All right, Helen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Big B, you got somebody over there. What's going on?
There's one that want to know. They still having, I guess, a problem with the shoulder calcium buildup. What can I do about this, Dr.
Calcium, what do we say?
Calcium buildup in my shoulders. Why is it?
We just mentioned calcium buildup in the body. What did I mention that breaks that down? What breaks down calcium?
Comfrey cream.
Comfrey cream would do it, right? Because it's high in what? What's that mineral? We just talked about that breaks down.
Magnesium.
Magnesium. There you go. There you go. Magnesium. So that's why things like the pine tree has high magnesiums. That's why we have the remember the turpentine oils. You remember the turpentine? That's come from the pine tree. That's why people put that turpentine on the shoulder and pushes right into the shoulder. It has a lot of magnesium. Got it? Okay, so that's what I would say. Magnesium. The presence more of greens in their diet. Green drink. Things like that. That helps. But turpentine, let me tell you, try that turpentine right on that shoulder. And let me tell you, it'll break that up. But also, let me go one more level deep. Sometimes you need to have a chiropractor go in and move that. Got it? Because that muscle tightens up. And if it starts to calcify, it starts to get balled up like a knot. So there's certain moves with the chiropractor. He doesn't just adjust your bones. He actually goes in and starts dealing with connective tissue and also ligaments, joints, you know, and the motor pieces of your body. So there's one move where we take your hand like this. So for the shoulder, right? They would grab you right here on the back and hold it and press down, and then they would have you do a move like this where it goes behind your back. And guess what? When they mash on there, breaks all that stuff right on up.
Yes,
it's amazing. It's amazing. You should have a good chiropractor that also does good tendon work. Got it? So if you got a chiropractor, get one that also does excellent tendon work. And I got one. You remember I told y'all about my friend, Dr. Lenny over there?
Yes.
Dr. Lenny is excellent. You know, he'll do that tendon work. He'll break it all down. A matter of fact, I've seen people who could not move their arm like to the side like this, and matter of minutes, they're able to pull it all the way back. Unbelievable. It's an amazing thing to see. All right,
Dr. Paul, that was my question. My name is Paula Howard, and I'm right there where I can't move my arm up high, certain positions, certain things. So you're saying that the magnesium is a good place to start. I've been trying to get your green tea, but you know, it's not available right now.
Oh, yes, it is. It's available. As of today, it is available. All the stores got them. Yep, so they dropped them.
I will be right back down on Wayne Avenue tomorrow morning getting it.
Or Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center. Or Pollock Herbs. Either one.
Okay. All right. Well, I thank you so much for answering my question. Thank you.
I would say, Paula, one more thing. Make sure you don't have a structural issue, though. Got it? See, there's nothing. Even if you're taking the the certain magnesium things, you still may need a structural adjustment there. So that's why I would recommend, if you don't have Dr. Lenny's number, Big B, you got it in the chat there.
I have it here somewhere. Hold on one second, Dr.
Okay.
Paul. I'll put it in there if I don't.
Okay, let me punch it in for y'all, and just give Dr. Lenny, and there is a special that he's doing right now, specifically for me. If you mention my name at Dr. Lenny's, you will get a free gift certificate. That's for everybody that's listening, and that's for you and your family. Free first visit. Got it. Also, free X-ray. Got it. Free X-ray. And the third thing would be free findings. So they do the findings and letting you know exactly what your problem is, which I think is worth it all. So if you choose not to use him, at least you can take advantage of this free opportunity. Got it?
Yes.
So I would do that because I'm telling you, you may just have a tendon issue that needs to be broken up in that area. Okay?
Okay.
Now the number I have, Dr. Paul,
did you drop it off at ACAF too in West Philly? Your product.
They didn't call me, but as soon as they call me, just make sure they call me. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
The number I have with Dr. Lenny is, 215-487-2500. Is there another one?
No, that's not Dr. Lane. Right. Okay. That's the, not Dr. Lane. This is Dr. Lenny. I'll give you a number.
Okay.
Okay, his last name is Roberts, Dr. Lenny Roberts, Roberts. And their number is 215-487-2500.
Yes.
All right, family. Summit Spine and Wellness. Summit Spine and Wellness. And Dr. Lenny's, and you know what? I'm going to try to get maybe Dr. Lenny to come on one day to talk to us. You know, I want to do a little segment with him. Because he goes into it, you know. He was on the Green Hour. Remember, we had him on the Green Hour. We had him a couple of weeks back. We had him on the Green Hour. And we introduced him to the family, what his services are, which I think are just extraordinary. You know, when I see something, I try to bring it to the tree. You know, to the family of what you need to do, but to also understand. I believe a lot of chiropractors have been misunderstood for many years, but you know that chiropractic goes back to the ancient Egyptians and Imhotep. Y'all know who Imhotep is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo, some of y'all smiled on that one. That's right. Imhotep. That's right.
Oh, that's right.
Do you know that all those papyruses, you know, the papyrus that it was on, and the ancient things that they know, the information of the papyrus and all the things, and we named all the body parts and everything. Do you know that came from us? I'm gonna make y'all feel special right now.
Everything came from us. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna make y'all feel special. All of that came from us. The ancient Nile Valley civilization. You got it? Write that down. The ancient Nile Valley civilization. That means 4,000 miles of education and universities all around the globe, but mostly in that concentrated area from Timbuktu all the way through. We had universities where the world came to us for all the information. Got it? 25 dynasties or more. How long is a dynasty? Sometimes 100 years, sometimes 1,000 years. So the world came to us for all the information. That's why we use this ancient Kemetic system, the men of Kem, Khem. Kem means black. Oh, I'm going to make you feel special right now, y'all. I'm going to make you feel special.
Bring it on, brother.
Kem means black, or people or blackness, or blackness. So when you study what? Chemistry, you're studying what? The study of blackness.
Boy, you better stop.
I'm about to start something.
I'm going to get him running around my room here.
You got to feel special. You got to be feeling special right now.
Yes.
Got it? So we only looked at things from the male and the female principles. You see what's behind me right here? Y'all probably say, what is that Doc got going on back there?
It's awesome.
You see what that is? Look at this. Let's look at this side right here. Oh, let me go on this side.
Yeah,
who is that?
Over your
you
left
see this
shoulder.
right here?
Uh-huh.
See who's... Oh, where I'm going. I got to get mixed up on here. See this right
That's
here?
your left shoulder from...
Yeah, that's my other left. Yeah. All right, this one.
That's the medicine man?
Who is that?
Female.
Medicine man?
That's female.
That's female.
Female. Look at the head.
Female. See what she has? What does she have? What is this? Wait a minute. What's that right there?
Right there.
The Y chromosome.
That's the Y chromosome, but actually that's a divining rod.
Right.
Okay.
She's looking for water.
Okay.
And
she carrying the bucket.
And the bag right here is the herbs and the things that were the bucket for water, right?
Okay.
But that's a divining rod. That's where you look for water. That means when you would hold both ends and then you would walk, the energy would bore down and it could tell you exactly where the water was. Got it? That's because energy spins. Energy spins. Got it? Energy spins. So when you take that and you balance the male and the female, left and right side of your body, you could actually draw and find the water. They're still doing this out. The farmers do this all the time.
Yes, indeed.
Ancient concept. So that's the female principle. Got it? Female. Divining rod. Got it? Finding, divining. That's the way you tune the body also. You tune the body that way. Got it? All right. Now, who's on this side? See, on this side, you got who? That's the male principle. On the other side. I'm sorry. On the other side. I'm getting confused over here, yo. I'm getting confused. All right. See, this side over here, where my finger disappeared. Wait a minute. There you go.
Right there.
This side right here, he has a couple of things, too. I don't know if you can see at the bottom of what he's doing down here, but he's got the staff, right?
Yeah, she's the
staff. And at the bottom, that represents the Ankh. Wow. The Ankh. Yes, the Ankh at the bottom. So what does that mean? That means that when you actually started to use, that's another form of energy work. Got it? So he has the staff and he has that wand at the bottom. That's when they see Moses had that staff, he also had the Ankh in the other hand. Didn't talk about that one. But that's a whole nother story. So this is how you would work energy. This is energy work things. So this is what was used to bring your body back into balance. Lay you on a table and they would run the divining rod or this or this it actually sounds, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like if you bang the Ankh, it actually sounds like you ever heard of the country guitars? You ever heard the kids getting bing, 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 bing? That's what it sounds like. You go bing, and then you would have the person lay on the table, and you would take that rod and roll it up their body, and it basically puts your body back into frequency. Got it? This is ancient Kemetic stuff right here. This is what balances the body. So that was a form of, that was a rod. So that's where the scripture says, spare the rod, spoils the child.
Yeah.
See, we thought that meant take that rod and put it upside that backside, but that don't mean what it means. That's not what it means. You spoil, you actually, by not using the divining rod, you're keeping that child out of balance. They're out of rhythm. That means your organs have a frequency, a vibration, all your bones, everything has a certain vibration. And to prove this, there were all places they would take you through called obstacle courses. And these obstacle courses had things that were set up like playgrounds. It's amazing. So that means that your playground that you see children playing on was actually an ancient healing ground that came from us. Wow. So that would be like the seesaw. Let's take that for example. Male, female. That's exactly what it represents. So they would give you some healing principles and see how this energy would work. But that's what bowling is about. That's what chess is about. That's what checkers is about. That's what chess is about. That's all energy games. If you want to read more about that, you can go to Dr. Africa's book. It's called African Holistic Health. And you'll see all of the breakdown of all the games, the ancient games that we used to do, and that they were for the balancing of you. Like the swing, right? You like the swing? Or who ever been on a swing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the whole purpose is that one of the poles was male and the other one was female. So they would swing you through there, and that would bring your body back into balance by balancing you out. See, I tell you, all this stuff is amazing.
It is.
And you would never think that it had anything to do with healing, but that's exactly what it was used for.
I'm curious, how does bowling work?
Bowling means that you would take the pins, like you would take the ball, and the ball was usually magnetized by something, some force of magnetized. And when you bowl it down, it actually knocked down the pins, and they could see the energy that you're creating with the ball, which is magnetized. How it hits the pins determines how they fall. And when they fall, they can tell you what's going on with you.
Oh, that's deep.
That's some deep stuff. Let me tell you, that's some deep stuff, y'all.
Yes.
That's some, it's so deep that people...
If we go swing now, will it help balance us out? If we get
absolutely, that's why you feel so good when you get on a swing. You say, you know what, woo, woo. You go on through there, you start feeling that feeling of freedom.
Or you feel sick and throw up.
Well, you probably needed that detox. That's probably what you probably threw up because you needed a detox. I'm sorry, but that's what it is, y'all. I'm sorry to take that little detour, but I think we needed that one.
Great
all right.
education.
Thank you,
All
Dr.
right.
Paul.
Dr.
That
Paul.
was awesome.
Okay,
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Dr. Paul.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. Wintergreen oil. Exactly. Like, okay, I had my knees. I had a PRP done. Okay. And it works. It worked. It's doing okay. One knee was doing great. I had to do another knee later, and I got that done. But I still was having pain. So I had read, you know, I've been with you a long time. So I read one of the books that said use winter green oil. What's your opinion on that?
Oh, wintergreen is very good. It's you know, that's the wintergreen alcohol. Of course, opens the pores, and wintergreen is always good. Remember, magnesium again. Here we go. Another source of good magnesium. Okay. All the baseball players. See, when we play baseball, we would rub down with wintergreen alcohol after every game. We had to. I mean, matter of fact, if you are someone that's a sports athlete, they would get mad, and sometimes you would get fined if you did not rub down after the game because your arm's going to get sore, and you would not be able to pitch the next day. This is all pictures and stuff like that with baseball players. You saw them baseball players? This mandatory, they have to rub down after the game. That's part of their contracts because if you don't, you could be out for several days. Because of the exertion that the muscle does. So it has to, remember, when you exert the muscle, you're destroying it, you're tearing it down. So you build it back up. You're gonna release this thing called, a lot of lactic acid. And that lactic acid has to be reduced by things like wintergreen alcohol, also Epsom salts, also Himalayan bath salts. That's what it does. It reduces the lactic acid build up, so you're not sore the next day. That's why people don't exercise. People say I'm not exercising because I don't want to get sore. I don't want to get sore the next day. But you don't realize if you start to soak down after you go out to the gym for the first time, don't start because y'all feeling good the first time. You get out there and you start doing everything. Oh, let me jump on that too. Let me jump. You jump on everything they got there, and then the next thing you get so stiff as a board you can't move. And that's because the lactic acid has been torn, your muscle's been torn down. It releases acid that's burning, so you can't even flex the joint. Oh man, I tell you, it's a painful feeling, but you need to use something like wintergreen.
Because what I read was that, you know, more people get knee surgery. And this is what the book was saying. More people get unnecessary knee surgery.
You got it. You got it. You got it. So tell them what the PRP is, because you know what the PRP is. For those who don't know what that is, that's actually taking the stem cells. Is that the stem cell treatment that
from
you
your
had?
own body. Yeah.
Okay, you take the stem cell treatment from another part of your body and put it in your knee. And remember, whenever you hear stem cells, that means what? Primary or root cells. Got it? That's what it means.
It actually is better than getting steroids.
Yeah, it means
shot
roots.
up in your I know a lot of us do that, but it tears down your bones.
Yeah, I would start to really magnesium. I'm telling you, you can see some regeneration that you have never seen when you start to maximize those things, and it can regenerate itself. So I had a brother who used the comfrey. You know, you remember Skip?
Yeah.
You remember Skip? You know Skip Steptoe? I don't know, Skip jumps on sometimes. Skip Steptoe was part of our men's group, and he had a meniscus tear from jogging, man. And they told him, you're going to be out for this long period of time. You're going to do that. And I said, Skip, all you got to do is start hitting that comfrey as soon as you're able to start soaking. Do the wraps until you can actually start to get in the tub and start to do that. His knee repaired so fast, they started doing research on him. They're saying, we just want to figure out how you did it. He was back jogging within like a week and a half from having a meniscus operation.
Wow.
And they were like, whoa, where did this guy come from? You know, but he can tell his story. I'm going to have him come on to tell his own testimony. But that's how, that's how powerful the body can regenerate. Now, remember, knees and joints, knees, feet, the reason why it's hard to repair or they go bad fast because it's lack of circulation there. So what you have to do is create the circulation in those knees, right? That's why it's hard for an ACL and meniscus and all that. So you have to create the energy in there for the circulation to build up that heat. So that now that it can get blood flow, you get more blood flow in there, healing comes about. Got it? So that's what wintergreen does. You know when you put the wintergreen on it, what it does? Heat up, don't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Now you know wherever there's heat, it's going to open the pores, allows more circulation to move. So that's why they put it on the arms and the shoulders of the guys playing sports, because it starts to now heat the shoulder up. Now allows that wintergreen to get in there. Magnesium starts to correct the body, reduce that lactic acid. Got it?
Got one more question.
Okay.
The eye. I went to the eye doctor Shay for one thing that was bothering me. They said, well, that wasn't as bad as what they saw after I was there. They said that my pressure in my eyes were 29, which is way too high. They said it's supposed to be in the teens. Okay. So my question is, I do have Dr. Eyebright, but I wasn't using it that much.
Dr. Eyebright? You mean Dr. Christopher's Eyebright? Yeah.
It burns like crazy. Okay, so do I need to? Would that help? Because
well, if you can't take it like Margaret over here. Take it. Margaret puts it right in her some water. Margaret, tell her how you used to put it in there.
Tell me,
I don't know if you jumped on a little late. You put it right in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just increase the dosage amounts. That's what you want to do. See, most people are not deficient because if you're on this this network that we always talk about herbs and things, everybody's doing something. Okay. So it's not deficiency, it's insufficiency, not enough. So once you start to get more of it into your system, remember, I try to tell y'all 3 times a day. Try to maximize your energy with your green drink 3 times a day. So that means everything you put in your green drink in the morning, do it lunch and dinner. And I'm telling you, you're about to see an incredible change that you've never seen before. Because we living on this eastern hemisphere, this northern hemisphere, we don't see that much energy. And most of us have never experienced that much energy.
Okay.
You got it? So when your body gets energy for the very first time, you're going to see stuff clear up you thought was never going to clear up in your life. And that's why it's amazing. I had to learn that from Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory taught me that. He says, you know what? You don't have to have quantity. It's quality.
Okay.
That was the Bohemian diet. Remember the Bohemian diet?
Yep.
Yes.
I remember that. Give me my Dick Gregory over there. Everybody had a little bit of Dick Gregory in there. And that was powerful because he was teaching us that it's not about quantity, it's quality. You got it? The body's only looking for energy. That's back to that hydrogen again. Got it?
When you gonna have Roz back on?
Doctor, you said
When are you going to have Roz back on for the Stones?
For the Stones, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring. Please ask you that.
Yes. I talked to Roz. I was with Roz about 2 weeks ago, and we sat down and we talked about what we're going to do. I'm going to bring him on. I got some good stuff that we brought to. We're going to bring to you.
Okay.
Some of the latest things that are going on for 5G protection. All those things. We got a book coming out. That's why we got a book coming out. Yeah, Roz and I are writing a book, and it's gonna be
the bomb.
It's gonna be the bomb diggity. You know? We don't know what we're gonna call it yet, but we're gonna get something. We threw a couple of names around, like Sticks and Stones or something like that. Something to deal with herbs and stones. Like this one here. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Y'all can see that.
Can y'all see
that?
Oh yeah, now we can see it. Yeah. Yeah,
that right there. That is one of my favorite stones right now. That's called auralite. Auralite.
And what'd that do?
It's actually from the family of the amethyst.
Okay.
But it has the highest. It's like some of the highest minerals that you can probably find on the world. Right there. Oh, also, I'm messing up. Oh man, I'm messing up. I am messing up.
Aura,
like A-U-R-A, yeah, aura, like an aura, light.
A-U-R-A-L-I.
Aura light. Yeah, if you punch it in, you'll see it. You just punch in aura light. But there's one called smoky quartz. Smoky quartz. These are all for radiation stuff. Good stuff, y'all. This is some good stuff. So I'm gonna bring Ross Ben. Let me see if I can get him next week. How about that? I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of him.
I'll get her on.
If he's not traveling or something, I'll try to get him on. And we can talk about some stones. I'll see what his availability is for this week. Okay.
Dr. Paul, I have a question.
I got one thing, Big B. If you can take the handle for about 5 minutes, I'm gonna grab something that's going to bless y'all. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to grab something. I just got it from Mr. Pollock, and I told him I would put everybody on notice about it. Okay. And this is going to be a blessing to you. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a blessing.
All right, so I'm going to go.
All right. Bill, go talk. Somebody do some talking. I'll be right back.
He's hiding. He's hiding stuff. That's all. Hey, listen, again, while he's away, let me just sort of bring you back to the fact of the chat each and every week, guys. Remember, when you want to get the copy of the chat, put it in the chat box. Make sure you send me an email to meccavideo@gmail.com. Again, that's meccavideo@gmail.com. Okay, and that way you make sure. And also, again, remember, you make sure that when you are looking at the program that you have that you have the chats with you. Okay, it allows you to just sort of calibrate everything together. You'll be surprised how it will bring it back to your mind. See, we all have a tendency to get foggy sometimes.
Right. Bill, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Bill, when you do the emails or the taping of the copying,
right?
Are our pictures up on there or just the words?
Oh no! If your picture is actually on screen, then your picture comes up.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Bill. Okay. Thank you.
Now remember, most people probably, as you're looking at the view, you're looking at in gallery mode, so you see everybody, right?
Yeah. Okay. This is Leah from Virginia.
Right.
Heal that cells. So I keep my video off.
Right.
But what were you going to say, Bill?
No, I was going to say that if you go to speaker mode, okay, you change up in the upper right hand corner, you change it to speaker mode. That will allow you to actually see everybody on the top and around, and the individual that is usually speaking is in the middle of the screen. So if their face is up, then you'll get a chance to see them. Now, are you with me? Does that make sense?
But I didn't want to have the pictures up, but that's okay. If I needed to get a recording, if I need to get a copy, I was asking you about the copies.
Oh yeah, well, whatever is there is there.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So
just make sure you stay cute like me and Dr. Paul. Glory.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Amen. All right, Reverend Bill. All right. All right. I went back because Mr. Pollock and I, we sit down sometime and sort of looking, see what's actually happening, and I sort of fill him in on some of the things that are going on. And he went back and grasped something that totally blew my mind today. I said, "Where did you get this from?" And I can only imagine what the effects of this is going to be. So I want to introduce you to this. And this is what Mr. Pollock has. He has this now available at Pollock Herbs. You can tell him I sent you, okay? And I want to show this to you. This right here. And let me know if you can see that. Can y'all see this?
Yes.
Oh, man. You can't see it. See it?
I can see it.
Hold up. Let me bring it back. Can you see it right here?
Yeah. Looks like it goes around your neck on the back part of your neck.
Right? Y'all see it? Y'all see it?
Yeah.
This is a complete shungite pillow.
Oh wow!
Oh, wonderful!
Great.
This is a shungite pillow. You can take this, put it around your neck, like this. And it helps those who have issues with headaches and migraines that can be induced by a lot of electromagnetic fields, also cell phones, things like that. You can wear this around at the office if you want to, if you feel that you're being exposed to so many things, like the television or the monitors or things like that. But also, these are grounding stones. So it keeps you centered and grounded. So it's good for prayer, meditation, all of those things. I said, man, do you know how important that is? And then I mentioned something to him that he said I didn't even think about. When you're using this, you can use this in the frontal part like this for a lot of women who have thyroid issues.
My gracious.
Now, you just said something, my friend.
Thank
That's
you, Dr.
great.
Paul.
You talk about something right here, like when you have this right here, this can actually start to balance out thyroid issues. Issues with hypothyroidism. Because remember what the shungite does. It's a grounder. It balances by grounding the charge and bringing the energy, so it keeps you centered. And that's what this is for. I thought this was the most amazing thing I had ever seen. I said, whoever thought about this was a genius.
Yes.
But they also knew that, increased exposure to electromagnetic field has always been a problem, and it becomes more of a problem the more electronic devices you have around you. You got your electric meter, your gas meter, you got your water meter, all by what? Nobody comes in your house no more, right? They sit right outside and Wi-Fi it right into their trucks. But also, you got your television. For every television in your room, for every electrical outlet in your room, you got it for every cell phone in your room, for every just regular house line. You have a base where you walk around. All of that stuff has electromagnetic field. So you have to start protecting your cells, and most importantly, that area around the thyroid. See, your thyroid is what's called, write this down, it's good for its balancer, it's your voltage regulator. It voltage regulates weight, temperature, and pressure issues.
Okay.
Got it? And that's why this would be an excellent device for grounding you and keeping you charged and also keeping you centered.
So the question is, what's the name of it and where can you get it?
Shungite pillow or shungite pillow. Just ask for shungite pillow. Call doctor, I'm calling him doctor. Call Pollock Herbs. Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center. Y'all know where that is, right? Okay, you got the number.
How much is it, Dr. Paul?
I think they were, when you buy this, because I believe that you can buy it online for like $125, but he's selling it for $99. That's what he sold me. Yep. He said if you have folks call in, he said he'll sell it for $99. Got it? But this thing is packed. It's packed. Let me tell you. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, something like 15 packs shungite in this thing.
What's the weight?
And
It's
Dr.
very
Paul,
light. It's not heavy. It's not heavy at all. It's very light. See how thin it is? Let me see how thin it is. See how thin it is? See, it's very thin. And it's the shungite crystals that it's almost like they're nice and smooth type, if I could explain that. Yep.
And how long should you wear it?
Well, remember, you can wear it as long as you need to. You know, it's recommended to wear it like when you're around electronic devices, if you're on the laptop or something, or if you're sleeping, things like that. And the people that use this say they sleep better. You know, their concentration is better during the day. You know, so that's what, remember, if you just want to know the effects of it, that's what shungite does. It's a grounder. It's a grounder that keeps you balanced. Got it? Grounding stone. But also it's a reflector of radiation. So it reflects radiation off of you. Got it? So it's almost like one that turns, negative energy into positive energy for energy. You got it? So it flips it. So if you get exposed to radiation or something, it flips it into good energy. So you receive now the energy. Got it? So it's so many things that it does. But go get your shungite pillow, y'all.
I have a question about that too. What if someone has had a partial of their thyroid removed? That should really help them. Would you think?
Oh yeah. This can help in a lot of ways with weight, temperature, and pressure issues. I would definitely say yes. Probably sleeping, things like that.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Shungite pillow, y'all. Woo-hoo.
I know that's right.
I can't wait to hit the bed tonight, Jack. I'm sorry. I'm just a little animated.
Use that in combination with your wild yam. I'm just kidding.
Well,
no, you ain't going to sleep with the wild yam. You ain't going to sleep with the wild yam.
Dr. Paul, drop back to
Dr. Paul, I have a question.
Okay, I'm going to go. Okay, Laura, let me get to you, and I'm going to go to Shelly after that. Okay, Laura?
Yeah, Dr. Paul, I think I'm taking too many herbs.
That can happen.
I think I'm duplicating because I'm taking too many of them. So I don't think
overlapping.
I'm overlapping. And it's probably some things that I can cut out.
Yeah, so that's why we do the assessments. Your body's only asking for certain things, so we want to make sure that you're getting the right herbs, right? Because remember, if you're overlapping, then your body has to get rid of what it doesn't need. So now I got to use energy to get energy. I got to get the stuff out of me, and then that makes you tired. One of the first signs of having overlapping or taking too many herbs would be that when you take it, you get tired. You're fatigued. You start feeling like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to feel better, but I'm feeling tired. That's usually the sign right there. So that means you're using energy to get rid of what you don't need. See, it's not the myth. The myth is that more is better. No, more is not better.
Yes,
balance is
true.
better. Got it? Balance is better. You got it? So they say, well, what's the best herb? The only best herb is the herb for you.
Yes.
Right. Got it?
Okay, I'm taking what you told me to take, and plus I'm adding other stuff to it as I listen to.
See there? What? Don't add nothing else to it. See, if we did your numbers and did that, just stick right there. Stay right to that. See, when you think, when people start taking too much, you're adding to the equation. Remember, the liver's got to process mostly everything that enters the body. So that's going to demand more water. It's going to demand more energy, things like that. So if what I gave you, just stick with that, okay? You don't have to do anything else with that, okay? So we'll have to, maybe if we need to reset that, just give me we'll set up a phone consultation and we'll go over that again, okay? But, you got to really break that down to what you need, what the body's asking for. You know, remember, different herbs, there's multiple solutions to a problem. You don't have to do the, I got to add this, I got to add that, I got to add that. No, you don't have to do that. That's like if you have a toolbox, right? You don't need all the tools to do one job, right? I always use that expression of, if you got a nail and you need to put it in the wall, I'm not going to use a screwdriver. Right? What am I going to use? I'm going to use what?
A hammer.
A hammer.
But I think it was because of COVID, and then I'm trying to keep my immune system built up. So
well, that's what it does.
What you prescribed for me, told me to take, was before COVID.
So no, wait a minute. Everything you're taking, remember, is for the immune building, because that's what's detoxing, feeding at the same time. Feeder and fighter. Antioxidant, feeder. You got it? So you are building the immune system. You are COVID protection. That's why if you look on that list of all the top 80 plus herbs that I gave for all of the detox, you're going to see a lot of them in there. So you can't go wrong. Remember, you can't go wrong. You can't mess it up, y'all. This food. But you can take too much of the same thing, and the body's like, look, I got too much of this. I got too much of this. I got to get rid of this. I got too much of this. We already got enough of this. We're making too much of this. So when we do the assessments, we're just reading the imbalances. So when it says, there's issues with liver, pancreas, kidneys, there's not enough minerals in the body, that's specific gravity, or that there's a infection in the system where you see some of the white blood cells rising, all that stuff. That's why the assessment is so important, to just stick with what your body's saying I need or I'm missing. Got it? So give me a call, Laura. Give me a call and we'll do a phone consult, okay?
Okay.
And I'll put you back on point, all right?
All right. Thanks.
All right. Good stuff, though, Laura. That's a good question. You just answered a lot of questions for a lot of folks right there.
Boy.
All right, Shelly. How you doing, Shelly?
Thank you. Oh, yeah, you said Shelly. I'm sorry.
Shelly.
Hello.
I'll come with you, Jackie. Go ahead, Shelly.
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Paul and everybody.
Yes, Shelly.
A month ago, a little over a month ago, I came to you for an assessment. If you remember, I walked in there with 212 over 100 blood pressure.
Listen, y'all. Listen.
I have diabetes. I had a host of problems, swelling and everything. I started, so we had, you came out and gave me, we had the assessment, and it was just all these things wrong, all these things that was going on that's really killing me. I had stopped taking my medicine and was doing a detox before I met you. But then since then, 3 weeks of changing, which doing the green drink daily, red onion soup, because my red onion tea, because my arteries, you told me, was like a number 4, close to being closed. I had the high blood pressure, the swelling, all of that. But I want to tell you, in 3 weeks, my diabetes is really controlled, but it was already beginning. But I've been seeing 90s, the numbers in the 90s versus 150, whatever.
Wow.
I also, the biggest thing, I went from 212, my blood pressure 3 weeks was 130 over 60.
Woo!
And remember, I walked in there and it was 212 over 100.
Wow. Yes,
and
I do
for
remember. Months,
I could not get it under 188.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a testimony that stuff really, really works. And, and everything goes together. My swelling is going down in my feet. I still have a little bit. You did prescribe the Golden Seal, because I have, my body's full of toxins and everything. And I know it's a process. I didn't get here overnight. So I look forward to coming back in 3 months. But I'm doing, as you say, one of the things, I went to my kidney doctor because in addition to this, they diagnosed me with stage 4 chronic kidney disease. And that is, as they tell me, preparing me for dialysis or either a new kidney. And that's really when I started listening to you, because I kind of, I refused to hear that. There's something that I knew that there was something that I could do, which we're in the process of doing now. So, so since then, the doctor, they have me coming back every other week, and they're just like amazed with my numbers. Not that my blood pressure continually stays at 130. It's still, I still may go up to 150 or whatever, but it has reduced so much in such a little time.
Wow.
One of the things that from my, I went Friday to follow up, and they told me that my blood, because I'm anemic too, that my blood was, my hemoglobin was 6.2. And they told me to immediately go to the ER and get a blood transfusion. I went the next day. I got something to eat and slept, but I have been really fatigued and have been going to, sleeping more and etc. For a period of time. I'm feeling better. One of my question is, what can I do to encourage my blood is never going to get high because I have iron deficiencies and it's hereditary, but it's never really under 9. How do I get it out of this danger zone?
Okay, here's the thing. First, let's applaud her, Shelly. Let's give Shelly a hand. What incredible testimony. Incredible testimony. To go from 212. Oh, my goodness. That is amazing.
Doing the work.
Shelly, God
this
bless
is amazing what you just said there. You're helping so many people. It's about applying the principle. Just remember, like we said, it's not going to change overnight, but that's okay. We know this is a crawl, walk, run process. Got it? So you getting up now. You starting to move the ball down the field.
Yes, very much.
Not going to happen. Believe it or not. You keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to see the hemoglobin change also. Remember, that's the root source. Remember we said the root cells or the stem cells. We got to get that hemoglobin going. We got to get all those things running again. We got to turn you around to a state of alkalinity. See, you've been going in a state of acid for so long that we're turning it back now, spinning to, what side does that spin, by the way, y'all? What energy spins with alkaline? Right. Is that to the right or the left?
Right.
I don't sound too sure about that.
Right.
They don't sound too. Karam, get him, Karam. Get him, Karam. Karam said, do I have to get him again? To the right. To the right. Remember, to the right. It's slow to the right. So what's happening is, Shelly, you're doing it. And you just got to keep the process. Got it? You're going from deficiency to insufficiency. Now you're bringing it back to not being malnutrition. Remember, it's on the cellular level.
Yeah.
So when you say even you've been hereditary, remember, I always beg to differ when they mention that every time. Yes, you may have something that was handed down from your family. Got it? You may have had something that was handed down to your family from your, from your DNA, from your mother or your father. But let me tell you, the only real problem that we have is what hereditarily is happening at the food table. Got it? That means everybody, the only real, we say, vicious cycle is what everybody in the family, they say, oh, well, everybody in our family got diabetes, everybody got high blood pressure, all that. But guess what? When we look at the real generational curse, it comes from that everybody was eating the same food.
Yes, so very true. That's it.
Got it?
Yeah.
So I beg to differ every time I hear that.
Yes,
because for
too.
every family, you're going to see somebody that was in that family that God said, I'm going to leave as a remnant, and they never had the problem that everybody else had.
That's right.
And y'all can think about somebody in your family. You say, you know what? You ain't never been sick. Everybody else got diabetes except for you. Or everybody got high blood pressure. That's because that person is the remnant, letting you know it's about habits. It's about food choices. It's about what you're doing. It's your exercise. It's those things. So don't think you can't turn this thing around. Like that it would be like you're cleaning up the system like you never had it. Because you can. And I'm a perfect example of that myself. You know, they told me I had some kind of blood disorder back a long time ago. I was finding this out, you know, through my father. He says, you know, I'm driving with my father. He's like, you know, we talking about baseball. He's like, you know, there was something wrong with your blood one time. Huh? What? What?
Yes,
Where'd that come from, Dad? Yeah, there was something wrong with your blood one time. I was like, yo. So I had to go on this thing and find out I had this thing called G6PD enzyme deficiency. And how fate would have it, this was so curious in my mind, I went back to my grandma's house, and I went into grandma's old box. And guess what I found? A letter stating that I had G6PD when I was 9 years old.
Come on, man.
See? You got me? Ain't that guy? If y'all can't see guys, y'all ain't looking.
I know.
And then right then, I knew right then, I said, I'm going to have to do a quest on this. And they said, oh, yeah, well, you're going to have it. You know, your mama had it, your daddy had it. Now you're going to have the rest of your life. I said, you a lie. And that was exactly what I did. And that was the foundation for what the green drink is today. Okay. And that was based on where I come from. When you look at the level where G6PD means, it means that, you know, on that DNA helix, your body's not making a certain protein, so the cells are not breaking, they're not forming properly. That's why they used to test it with sickle cell. You got it?
Yes.
They used to test it with sickle cell. It's called G6PD enzyme deficient. Everybody needs to write that down and test yourself and your family. G6PD. That's Paul David. Got it? And in G6, P is in Paul, D is in David. Matter of fact, I had a seminar that I was teaching, a health seminar with these folks from one of the hospitals was having something, and they were doing a sickle cell drive. And I went up to him. I said, okay, you're doing sickle cell, but are you doing G6PD? She said, I never heard of it. I said, you kidding me, right? She wrote me back about 3 months later and said, thank you for allowing us for mentioning that, because we never knew anything about it. And from that, we found that there were so many more people who have it. So we implemented it as part of our testing again. They used to do it. They used to test people with G6PD and sickle cell at the same time. They don't do it anymore.
No.
1 out of every 4 boys, mostly males, have it and don't even know it. Chronic conditions, fatigue. Some even say that's the concept of going back to, you know, lazy black man, maybe a G6PD enzyme deficiency. You just wore out. You're fatigued on the cellular level. You're just exhausted. A lot of that shows that where we come from, which is when I did the bullseye from where it comes from, guess where it came out of?
What?
Come right out of Israel all the way out to Africa.
Wow.
That's exactly where it comes out.
Wow.
I'm gonna let y'all work on that one right there.
Wow.
But the bullseye came out like that. And you know, if you have these deficiencies, you cannot, you know, you're not susceptible to malaria, because malaria is a parasite. So it's actually going in. So you can't get you can't get malaria. And they say that it may have been from the results of a mutation of the malaria that happened, and that's why the body naturally over time just created this version. And now, but it's a malnutrition of the cells, so the parasites only go after healthy cells. But if you don't have healthy cells, then it can't survive.
Wow.
Got it?
Wow.
So you're fatigued all the time. You're wore out. You're exhausted. There's no oxygen in the body. Always feel like you go up a flight of steps and you out of breath. All of that stuff. Cramping all the time. You know, always having foot cramps or leg cramps. See, that's blood. You got me? So it takes a while to turn the boat around, but you got to go for the highest form that helps the body create, which is what? We mentioned it from the top. What is the greatest source of energy in the universe? Is what?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen. Got it? So best of the land, best of the ocean. That's how it was corrected. That's how I corrected it right there. By raising it. And specifically, I did it with that green drink that y'all have right now. That was it. That was the whole purpose. I prayed to God, and God through divine, I say, inspiration. That's what you got right there with the green drink. You got
so
it?
if someone has sickle cell, do they generally have that deficiency?
Yeah, those are the things. But remember, sickle cell, they sickle, so now that becomes very painful. It's very painful.
You know what?
So it's another form of malfunctioning cells. That's what it is. They're not. They're not like a circle. They're not total. They're not complete. Right. So Shelly, I say all that to say, what do we say? Clean the blood. Keep your journey. Keep doing what you're doing. The blood pressure would not start coming down if the things weren't starting to work. Okay. Got it? It's showing you that it's a crawl, walk, run process. Keep up the good work. And one more time, let's give her a hand, y'all.
Indeed. That's exactly right.
Give her a hand. What a testimony. What a testimony. Powerful. Go ahead, Shelly.
No, Dr. Paul, quick question.
Okay.
I just want to see what you say. Now that they're requesting that you...
Hold up, Cynthia. Cynthia, she got one more question, she said, and I'm going to come right back to you, okay? Go ahead. Shelly?
I was going to say... Since this is happening, there is nothing except what I'm doing they want me to see a hematologist. But there's nothing that I can do other than what I'm doing now.
That's it. You got it. You got the formula right there. You cleaning the blood.
You know what you're doing.
All those cleansers that I gave you. That's it. That's how. I'm giving you exactly what your ancestors would give you. Right here. That's it. That's it. That's it. You got it. I'm giving you exactly what was written to us to do when we face certain things. We don't, they say there's no science, there's no knowledge, there's no data. Yo, we got plenty of data. We got black folks still here. That's data.
Thank you.
Black folks still here.
Okay.
I love it when they say stuff like that. What does that mean? Yo, survived everything, every calamity on the planet, and we still here. You got a family. Come on, y'all. Somebody needs to say amen or a shout something. Throw a shoe at the camera or something. I don't know.
Hallelujah.
Yes. That's so very
true. I have one question to ask.
Okay, let me get this in order. Let me Cynthia. I'm going to come to you, but I got Margaret sitting up here, and I'm going to come right back to you. Okay?
We're at 9:05.
Okay, we at 9:05. So, Margaret, go ahead, Margaret.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. At one point, you had talked about taking our temperature in the mornings. Could you kind of go over that process again real quick?
Right. That's actually dealing with the thyroid. Okay, the thyroid we talk about is weight, temperature, and pressure. So if you want to do... There's actually a test that you can do. There's different ways people do it, but this is the way I recommend doing it. So you would take a piece of paper, pad, and a thermometer. Got it? And when you lay down, put it next to your table at night. So when you wake up in the morning, okay, don't get out of the bed. Take the covers off if you have covers or whatever. Take that thermometer. Take your temperature. Write it down. Got it? Write it down. Okay, you do that for 7 straight days. Got it? At the end of the 7th day, add them all up, divide it by 7, and we're trying to get your temperature. If your temperature falls below, as an average, below like a 92.4 or somewhere like that, we got a thyroid imbalance. You got it? That's what we're doing. We got a thyroid imbalance. Somewhere around there, there's some thyroid issues or voltage regulating. Behold, the concept is this. The concept is that if you're sitting for long periods of time, especially sleep, you should start to resonate a certain heat from minerals, which means your body temperature should be closer to what? 98.6.
Okay.
But if you're not at 98.6 and you're still cool, that means you don't have enough minerals, or you're not voltaging properly. So you don't have enough proper voltage in the body, which means a mineral deficiency in some cases. So that means the thyroid may be off a little bit. That's the first signs that we do. All right, so that's what you would do. So 7 straight days, do that testing. On the 7th day, add them up, divide it by 7. If you fall below around that 92, somewhere around there, you want to be closer to 98.6. That's what we're looking at. Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Okay.
Dr. Ball, are there herbs that could actually shrink aneurysms in your brain?
Well, remember what an aneurysm is. Okay, so it's like a clot.
Yes.
So that's why we use things like the red onion tea. Got it? That's what that is. The declotting, to break that up. That's what we try to do. Also stress. We got to de-stress the person. Aneurysms also can be from too much concentration. Remember? Concentrated, concentration, refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. Most of the time it's the sugar. And also the artificial sweeteners, things like aspartame.
Right.
Or sucralose. Those are the ones that you got to stay away from. Got it? Because they're too concentrated, and plus they're poison. Specifically, the aspartame causes a lot of aneurysms in African American women more than anyone on the planet. Y'all hear that? So that means the aspartame is in all gum. It's in diet sodas. Look for aspartame. That's your artificial sweetener. It's not even real. That's a poison. That's a straight poison. And it causes aneurysms and strokes for African American women more than anyone on the planet. So keep that in mind, all right?
And one more is, you heard of NAC or N-acetylacetine? I don't know how to pronounce it, but NAC is supposed to be good for the lungs. And is it? It's something that I'm hearing about.
What you saying now? I can't hear you. Say NAC?
Yeah, I think the name, yes, NAC, which is acetylacetine or something like that.
No, acetylcysteine.
Right, that.
Y'all got me tripping over here.
That's all right. That's all right, Jackie. We'll get there.
Yes.
Those are that's an antioxidant. Okay,
so
it's an antioxidant.
It's good for our lungs and
some people use that for preventing things like cancer, cancer treatments and things like that. But acetylcysteine, the number one antioxidant of the body is the glutathione. Okay, glutathione.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a whole show on acetylcysteine. You remember? I don't know if y'all remember that.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. So it's dealing with things like cystic fibrosis. Opening up the lungs. It sort of just fights sarcoidosis, stuff like that. You use it for a lot of things that deal with, hardening of the fibrous tissue in the lungs, or the pleurisy. Is that what they call it? So you want to basically, it's good. It's good stuff. You can use it, but remember, this is something that I would say, use something more of glutathione. That's what I recommend. Always with glutathione, that's the highest of all of the antioxidants.
Oh.
Okay, highest of the antioxidants, glutathione. Glutathione. Glutathione.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I gotta go over here to where did she go? Cynthia, there you go. I missed you.
Okay, I just want to ask one question.
How
do you handle okay? Because I'm having a problem handling. How do you handle now? I want to take a class at a school, university, and basically what you're being told now, if you don't have the card or you don't have it on your phone that you have the shot, you will not be allowed to. And that's not the first one. I'm getting that a lot now. So how do you handle that?
Well, I'll tell you what I did for my son.
Okay.
We just filed and it was approved for religious exemption. That's it. You get a religious exemption. You draw the letter, and remember, it's for, your strong religious conviction.
Okay.
That's right. You opt out, and you may have to submit to their weekly testing, which is what you're going to probably have to do. But right now, with the breakthrough numbers, the people vaccinated need to be taking the test too. If you're going to make people take it,
very true.
Then the people who break through, there's so many breakthroughs, and of course, what they're doing with the numbers. They're sort of working the numbers on us a little bit, saying it's the unvaccinated. It's not the unvaccinated. It's the way they're looking at the numbers. So if you go in and you had a shot within 2 weeks, and you go in saying I got these symptoms, and then they test you and they say you got it. If you say, well, yeah, I had the shot 2 weeks ago, but they'll say, well, that's unvaccinated to them.
Get out of here. Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how they're running the numbers. So they're considering not 2 weeks unvaccinated. That's considered unvaccinated to them. But see, that's the whole point. Is trying to encourage people to get the shot. That's the whole point.
Right.
So I just think that if you're going to do the testing, everybody needs to be tested. But then you got to look at the flawing of the test. The test. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. If you're spinning the cycles, you ask them, well, how fast is the cycle spinning of the test? If it's above 25, then it's going to be 95 percentile, 95% false positive.
Okay.
And they know that if the faster you spin it, because the guy that made it said it's not made for that testing. I didn't create it for that. So it's a lot of stuff, y'all. That's why I say don't get hung up on it. Just focus on you.
That's right.
Focus on what Daddy. Stay with God's concept and His game plan, because they even did a research and study that showed that in every cell in your body, on every human on this planet, they can actually look and see how old this planet is. That means that in every one of us, when they look on the genes and down to the DNA and everything, they said that the human is 13.5 billion years old, and that's in every one of us. 13.5 billion years at least. So what does that mean? That we've adjusted. The body, if you came from this dirt, you're 13.5 billion years old. So what does that mean? You are part of this whole thing. And if anything that test shows, that PC test that people doing to see if you got it, the test was designed by the guy that showed that every mineral in the universe is inside of you. So if anything that he discovered that we all, is to know thyself, because everything in the universe is inside of you. That's it.
Yes, sir.
So,
Dr. Paul?
Yes. Powerful piece, man. Powerful
Dr.
piece.
Paul?
Yes.
Really quick question. What is the formula for the pH, and when is the best time to do it?
The importance of the pH is everything we've been talking about tonight, which is alkaline. What
is the formula? How do you
the formula is urine over saliva.
Okay.
Okay, urine over saliva, like a little math problem or a division problem. Urine, draw a line, saliva.
Okay.
And you would double the saliva.
And double the saliva.
Add to the urine.
Add to the urine. Okay.
Divide by 3.
And then divide by 3. Okay. And when is the best time to do it?
Right. Always before you eat, never after you eat.
Okay.
Always
so in the morning would be. Okay.
Morning, before you have lunch, or before you do dinner. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would get a logbook and just log your stuff. And one thing I would say after that, when you do it, make sure you say, how did I feel after this? How do I feel? And that usually will show you that when you are feeling kind of upset and tired and fatigued and whatever, you got too much acid going on. But when you feeling on top of your game, you're on top of stuff, guess what? Alkaline. Yep, you're doing good.
Yeah, the other day you told me I was too alkaline, so that's why I want to make sure I know how to do it. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, family. Oh boy, this has been a ride tonight, y'all. This has been a ride tonight. All right, Big B.
Paul, there's some questions in here that we're not going to be able to get to tonight, so I'll try to make a list of them so we can cover them next week. Okay?
How about that? Sounds good. Sounds good.
Cindy, want to make sure that you know, because she had some very important things, but our time is just gone. They come boom.
Yeah, we just don't have enough time. We don't have enough time at all.
And you have to get to me next week.
Who is that?
This is Neitha. My hand been up.
Neitha, where are you? I don't even see you, Neitha.
Neitha hiding in the corner in the dark.
The fan
going. There you are.
I was too busy taking notes.
Neitha, oh man.
Okay,
Neitha always got some good stuff.
You know what? I'm gonna try and go. I'll go through the chat. I'm trying to make a list of the things that we didn't get to, that we didn't cover, and so that when we start next week, I'll try and cover. We'll try and get to those right off the bat. Okay. Or if at all possible, I know sometimes Dr. Paul gets busy about trying and forward some of the questions to him, but he can get back to me with some answers. I'll try to cover them for you, okay?
That'd be good. That'd be good.
All right, very good.
And I want to say, family, just please continue to support this whole movement of this family tree.
Yes.
You know, if you're going to get the information, no better place than get it from your folks, right? That's why I say, you know, support what we're doing here, because you're going to share this information, and you never know what it may make a difference, not only in your life, but the life of somebody else you love or people that you haven't even met yet.
That's exactly right.
You know, so keep that all in mind, you know, when you're doing this. A lot of times you may be fielding information and taking notes for somebody that's, you know, you haven't even been exposed to or met yet.
Exactly.
But it's a powerful thing in life and things to live by that we've been all given, but we forgot about them. We've fallen away from, you know, from life. We've fallen away from God's principles that I set before you. I set before you laws, statutes, and commandments.
There you go.
So obey them that you may have life and have it more abundantly.
Thanks, Shelley, for sharing again.
All right.
And so, guys, make sure, in order to get a copy of the chat, send it to mechavideo@gmail.com. Again, that's mechavideo@gmail.com. Just continue to support us. Hey, guys, send those donations to Dr. Paul Hop. That's the $ Dr. Paul Hop. Or if you come through Zelle, you can send it to mechavideo@comcast.net. Oh, we've got a post office box, which is 191 Bunker Hill, New Jersey, 08062. All right?
All right, y'all.
Everybody.
Y'all, let's get a hand over there, Big B.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
And I want to family so much that's where when you make a donation of any kind, you know, anything, y'all, it all should be over there. It helps us to do the posting on social media, all the media sources, so that we can get it to all the things that we need to do.
Yes.
So, still on here? Dre, still on? Dre, you on?
Yeah, Dre, he was there. I think he may have gone by now.
Dre may be gone. Yep. I think Dre.
Tax deductible.
Yeah, I think. Okay. So, what was that again?
You want to know if it was tax deductible?
Green tree drop off at Paula.
Yes, we can actually make it tax deductible for you. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. All right. So, like I said, you know, we try to just keep this thing going. We want people to know what's going on and everything. You know, share this information. That's the only thing I do is charge you with the truth. Got it? Charge with the truth. Got to go tell somebody.
I know that's right.
That's all. You got to tell somebody. All right. All right, family. Did y'all learn something tonight, y'all?
This was a good one tonight. Good one tonight, guys.
Don't forget to reach out to Ross Finn, Dr. Paul.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And you know I'm going to be on him as soon as he gets off, so he make sure he gets it to me so I can get it out to you.
Absolutely. I'm going to try to get a hold of him.
Everybody.
So thank you. God bless y'all. Remember, be encouraged, family, because if you're breathing,
God is shot. There we go. God bless.
Tap it out. Tap it out. Tap it out. Tap it out.
Yeah.
Some of y'all actually can dance.
Look out. What? Karen's on my Hollywood down over there. Get him, Karen. Get him, Karen.
All right. Tapping it on out. Tapping it on out. Don't it look like they dancing? Don't it look like they dancing?
Sure does, man.
And you know, also, you notice that one thing about the house here. They're standing next to their home. This is that, right?
Yeah.
See, the foundation is the home. Got it?
Yes.
All right.
There we go.
Tap here. Tap. Good. And breathe. All right. So thank you for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
See y'all next week. All right. God bless y'all.
All right.
And we'll see you next week. All right, Big B. I'll see you on the weekend, buddy.
You got it, buddy. On time.
Thank you so much for all the information. God bless. Good night, everybody.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, John Boy. Good night, little Bill.
Good night, little Paul.
Little Paul. I knew that was coming, right? Little Paul. What up? You don't know nothing. I done forgot more than you know.
Hallelujah.
You done told me that. He told me that many times.
Well, what can I tell you? What can I tell you?
That'll shut the young folks up real soon. No comeback.
That's a good line.
Ain't no comeback to that one. Shut up. You don't know nothing. I done forgot more than you know. All right, y'all. It was fun. I enjoyed y'all tonight. Take this information, put it on in your pamphlet of all the information and knowledge, and keep it moving. Share. Also, go to Facebook, Dr. Paul Holistic Health Network, if you want to see this broad, and you can get online and send it to somebody else out there.
I gotta go. Love you.
All thanks to Big B over there.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, y'all.
Good night, all.
Good night. Good night, man.
All right.
Good night, Andre. Good night, Lavelle.
Good night.
Denise. Good night, Cam.
Good night.
Good night, Carol G. Good night, Freedom.
Good night, John Boy.
Freedom.
All right.
There it is. Good night, John Boy.
All right. God bless y'all.
Good night, Helen.